Alright guys, this is Budget EDCer, and this is giving you my review of the Zero Tolerance 0350 Tiger Striped Blem. Now when I say Blem, that's not the model, that's not a customization that's happened to the knife. It means that there was something wrong with it from the factory to where they did not charge full price. This knife was purchased for $85. A new knife from the factory that's in perfect working order is $147. So I got this for a little over half the price of a perfect knife. Now, to some of you that may sound like a really good deal, and to the other few you might be like, I kind of want a brand new knife. I don't want something that the factory said was a bad knife. It's not that the factory thought that this was a bad knife, they thought there was something wrong with it. And if you look right here, there's a nick in the coating. It's not a big deal. There's nothing functionally wrong with the knife. I can't guarantee that that's how all Blems will be, but from what I've heard, the vast majority are just a problem in the blade coating. That's not a big deal to me, because if I put this knife through much more hard use, it's been through a good bit already, and it's holding up fine, but I have a feeling if I continue to use it like I do now, the coating's going to start coming off naturally. So that's not a huge problem for me, but I'm going to stop talking about that and more the aspects of the knife itself. It's tapped for right hand and left hand tip up or tip down carry. I've got it installed for right hand tip up carry because that's how I'll carry any knife that I'm carrying as my main blade. It's just easier to grab out of your pocket because your hand is already oriented to just hit the flipper and the knife's open. I carry this knife mainly as an EDC utility knife. I'll never carry a knife for self-defense because most people have the idea of, well, in case I get mugged. No, if you get mugged, give them your wallet. There's no point in stabbing somebody over a $20 bill and your license. You probably won't win the case in court unless the guy pulls a gun on you, and there's no point in it. But that's not the point of this video. I'm just telling you the philosophy of use that I have for this knife. It's S30V steel, which I may or may not have already mentioned. This is the fourth time I've done this video, so I don't know what I've said and what I haven't. But it's an extremely hard steel, and it has good corrosion resistance. Now, the fact that this steel is extremely hard is a double-edged sword, no pun intended. It's extremely, extremely good at holding an edge. This will hold a usable, sharp, hair-popping edge for, I'd say, a good week and a half of solid use. But when the downside comes in, is after that week and a half, sharpening it. The sharpening system I use, which is just some ceramic and a sharpening stone, it takes quite a few passes at it to get this back to where it needs to be sharpening-wise. I need to invest in a different sharpening system, but I haven't honestly looked around for something that's inside my budget. So if you guys could throw something out in the comments, it'd be appreciated, and I'd look into it. But this is a really, really well-built knife. It flips open with authority. It's a liner lock. The liners are lightly drilled out to eliminate some weight, but it's a beefy knife. If you don't want a heavy-duty folding knife, this isn't for you. Go out there, get a Kershaw Blur, get a Buck Vantage, get a Spyderco Tenacious. I know that dead horse has been beaten unreasonably, but the Tenacious is a terrific knife. Go out and get a Kershaw Skyline. If you don't think you need something this heavy duty, don't get it. It's a great knife. It's got a fairly short blade. I think it's around 4 1/4 inches, maybe a little over. That's just me guesstimating. That's nothing from the factory. That's not me having measured it. That's what I'm eyeballing it at. So if you check the specs on the website, don't come back here yelling at me that I got the measurements wrong. I just told you I probably got the measurements wrong, but that's what it looks like just eyeballing it. The handle scales are heavily textured G10. They're very, very grippy, which once again is a bit of a double-edged sword because it will mess up some pockets if they're weaker denim or weaker whatever material your pants are made out of. Now, for more than one reason, I wouldn't recommend wearing this with any kind of dress pants. The first reason being they're usually made of a more delicate material that the G10 could mess up. The second one being this isn't a knife I would want to be seen with if I'm dressing nicely, for whatever reason it is. If I'm dressing nicely, I'm probably just going to have something like a small silver Kershaw leak, and it's probably not even going to be clipped to my pocket. But once again, that's not the point of this video. I'm just getting off topic really, really easily. But just doing a quick overview, for $85, buy this knife and be very, very happy that you bought it when you could. These go out of stock pretty quickly since they're the tiger striped version. So buy one while you can. This is Budget EDCer signing off.